it's Khaki. Today I would like to talk to you about something that, as I've looked back through comments on previous videos, I have had repeated requests to talk about the return of hunger and how to deal with it. So let's talk about it. Following bariatric surgery, most people have a marked decrease in hunger. This is due to several reasons, but the most common is just the mechanics of the surgery. You have either had a lot of your stomach removed or a large portion bypassed. So you now have a pouch or a sleeve that is very stiff and gives you that feeling of satiety very quickly with very little food intake. When you feel full, you're not as hungry. Also, immediately after surgery, there is a decrease in a hormone called ghrelin. I think of that as the gremlin hormone. That's what causes your brain to be hungry. Decreasing ghrelin after surgery equals decreased hunger. Another reason we have decreased hunger after surgery is most people have very little intake of carbohydrates. We are locked in, we are protein focused. Carbohydrates can equal fluctuations in blood sugar, which can cause hunger. So, why does hunger return after surgery? Usually, 1 to 2 years after surgery, hunger rears up. That's because of a few different things. First, those ghrelin levels that we talked about start to adjust, they start to climb again. So, brain wise, we're hungry again. Number two, our pouch or sleeve becomes more compliant as it heals. That's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. You haven't stretched your stomach. It's healing. So you could accommodate more food without that feeling of fullness. Also, as our surgery matures, our focus begins to include more carbohydrates in our diet. We can't live on protein alone. We do require carbohydrates in the forms of some fruits and some healthy carbohydrates, some healthy starchy vegetables for us to get the nutrients that we need. However, if we're not careful with that, that can cause those spikes in glucose and increased hunger. So, what can we do about it? What can we do to get that hunger monster back where we want it? Number one, and I know we as bariatric patients have this nailed into us constantly, focus on protein. There is nothing like a solid protein that fills your pouch up and gives you that feeling of satiety, that stretch that makes you feel full. So focus on protein first. When you prepare your plate, eat that protein first. That will give you that satiety. Number two, look at your carbohydrate intake. Focus on decreasing simple carbohydrates in your diet. Those things like simple sugars, white bread, white rice. Those are simple carbohydrates. Yes, things like that sometimes do provide a nutrient content, but they should be very secondary to non-starchy vegetables and protein. The big thing for me to reduce hunger is eat on a schedule. Mentally, if I know that I am going to be eating again in 3 to 4 hours, I train myself to not be hungry all the time. It is a mental thing, but it's also a physical thing. We can't eat a lot even after our surgery has matured. So you do need more frequent fuelings to get the nutrients that you need. So get yourself in that habit. Don't go 8 or 10 hours without eating. If you do that, you're going to be ravenous. So get yourself on a schedule. These are just some things that you can do to decrease hunger after surgery. And a lot of it also has to do with preventing those blood sugar spikes. When you have a blood sugar spike after eating simple carbohydrates, you're going to have a blood sugar crash. Your body is going to cry out for carbohydrates to bring that back up, and it's a vicious cycle. So be very aware of that as well. Guys, this is something that has been requested that I talk about. I would love to hear, what else would you like me to do a video on? What would you like to hear me talk about? I hope everybody is doing well. I would like to hear, what are your thoughts on decreasing hunger? And anything else, where are you at in your journey? I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.